Yes.
Thank you for coming. You're at the regular scheduled school board meeting, the 13th of July. Thank you for coming. First thing we have on the agenda is the oath of office.
Oh, yes.
And prior to the call of order, the new board members will be sworn in with the following oath in office. So if I could have the three newly elected board members just stand where they're at.
Okay.
And if you guys could raise your right hand, and then we can read this oath together.
All righty.
Okay, here we go. I
I
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the state of Oregon and the laws thereof and the policies of the North Bend School District. During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities of the oath of school board member to the best of my ability, and will bear in mind always the welfare of the children entrusted to the school district. Thank you. Welcome to the board. Okay, with that, we will have agenda item 2, call to order. Calling it to order. Flag pledge, the flag is to my left. We can stand. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You. We will have the roll call. To my left, I see Carol Yardley, Michelle Roberts, Nathan McClintock, Christina Simpson, Mary Schilling, and Julie Thies. All 7 board members are here. And before I move on to the next item, I would like to welcome Vince Swaggerty, our new interim superintendent. Vince has a signed contract for a duration of 1 year, and we're glad to have him here. Also, we have Michelle Bricks as the administrative assistant to the superintendent and board secretary. So thank both of you for signing on. Okay. With that, item 3, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Go ahead and make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. I'll second it.
There is a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Aye. I just said. Okay, 7-0, good. Okay, item 4, election of board officers for the school year 2023 to 2024. Item A, board chair. Is there a motion to nominate anyone for board chair?
I move to nominate Jim Jordan for board chair.
I second that.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to nominate Jim Jordan for board chair. Are there any other motions for nominees? You sure?
Yep.
Okay, that's it. All in favor of Jim Jordan for board chair for the school year 2023 to 2024, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, it's unanimous. Okay, item 4B, board vice chair.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Board vice chair. By the way. Okay, there is a motion and a second to nominate Carol Yardley for vice chair. Is there any other nominees for that position? Okay, no other nominees. With that, we will vote on Carol Yardley for vice chair. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Carol, you're the vice chair. There you go. Okay, item 4C, board second vice chair. Are there any nominations for board second vice chair?
I'd like to nominate Mary Schilling for board second vice chair.
I second that.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to nominate Mary Schilling for board second vice chair. Are there any other nominations for second vice chair? Okay, with that, we will have a vote. All in favor of Mary Schilling for board second vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. We have our officers for the coming year. Okay, item 5. Some thank yous. Like to thank item A, Boxcar Hill Campground for their donation of $1,000 to our student homeless fund. I'd like to note that's a continuing contribution. They've done that before. Item B, Edward Jones and Jeremy Gilliam for their $3,000 donation toward playground equipment at Hillcrest Elementary. Thank you to Coos Bay Walmart for their $425 contribution to our clothes closets at our schools. And a thank you that did not make it on the agenda here. That it is the North Penn High School Science Department would like to thank Jeff and Carol Davis for the donation of a telescope with a 7-inch lens. This telescope will be used by the Astronomy Club and in Mr. Kemp's Introduction to Astronomy course. So we thank you for that, all the folks that donated. Okay, agenda item 6, public participation. The board welcomes comments and questions from the public. If you wish to address the board, please fill out a public participation sheet available at the table and give it to the board secretary. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. If more than one person will be addressing the same topic, which I won't even read because we have just one. Speakers may offer objective criticism of school operations and programs, but the board will not hear comments regarding individual school personnel. With that, Rayleigh Cousins.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Rayleigh Cousins.
Hello, Rayleigh.
And you did answer one of my questions right off the bat, 1 year for the interim superintendent position. Welcome. And I was just curious, I was reading that boards and superintendents need to work closely together. So I was curious what your goals were in regard to, and I suppose you'll tell us in regard to hiring this fine man. So, thank you.
Well, typically we don't, it's not interactive, but we will have, we'll discuss tonight on the goals. We do have an agenda item to, the agenda item is number 11, and that's plan a board work session for board superintendent working agreement. So in the 1 year contract that we executed for the interim superintendent, Vince Swaggerty, we have a contractual obligation to, between the board and superintendent, to develop a working agreement to outline responsibilities and expectations of each other per contract section 3. We'll also, as a group, the board will establish board priorities, and there'll probably be some training that'll go on also, board training. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, agenda item 7, board reports and communication. Your silences, we will move on. Item 7B, superintendent report.
So, since I have come on so recently and we're preparing the board packet agenda, I don't have a written report at this point. But verbally, I just want to say what a pleasure it is to be. I had an opportunity to spend 4 days in the district, working in the office, working on some hiring that we had, including Michelle here. And of course, Amanda as the Hillcrest principal, so as a part of that process, getting up to speed with what's happening in the district, working with those in the district office pretty closely, obviously, and I'm just having an amazing time. They're amazing professionals, and I really appreciate their work and then bringing me up to speed on the things that we have. So I just want to express my gratitude for the opportunity to lead the district. We have found a place to live. We're in the process of moving in and going and doing that. So I also wanted to let the district know that as you could tell from a press release that we put out yesterday, that we're taking some action to fill positions that are having an impact in the district. And David Cahill is, we're excited to announce that she's going to be replacing Tiffany Rush and Director of Teaching and Learning position. And so, we're going to be, we have posted her position now. So we need to try to find a principal at North Bay. And so there are other actions that we're taking. We're going to be posting an elementary half-time or a full-time assistant principal position that will be split between the two buildings to support the principals. I think we've heard a clear message that we need to be able to support those principals in a lot of ways, including to support them in working with student behavior and student management, and as well as in curriculum and in supervision of staff. And so we're taking that step, and so we're working hard to put a plan in place so that when the buses show up in September, that we are really going to be ready to go and just ready to hit the ground running. So excited to be here, excited to get down to business and move the dial for kids in a good way.
Good. Thank you, Vince. Okay, item 8, action consent agenda items, and there are a lot. Is there a motion to approve the action/consent agenda items?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the action consent agenda items.
I'll second that.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to approve the agenda or the action/consent agenda items. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's 7. Excuse me, 8. All right, agenda item 9, food service summer update.
I'll speak to that. Appreciated Amy's report. Just basically just letting you know that we're feeding a lot of kids as we do every summer. And there's a lot of neat things happening out there right now. It's kind of neat to see in that second paragraph how they're partnering with our museum to do some activities as well. So it's not just getting food. There are opportunities for kids to engage in some neat activities and stuff. So we're just putting that out there so you're aware and the community's aware that as we have done for many years. You see our food trucks out there dropping off food at spots and making sure that kids have an opportunity to have some good news.
Okay, thank you, Vince. Item 10, inter-district transfers.
As we do each year, we bring this to the board to give you an update as to what our where our caps are going to be in each of the grade levels. Talked to Bruce today. What he wanted to make sure that you understood that everybody who is asked to transfer in, we have found a place for them. Of course, we don't know yet if it's an elementary student, which school they're going to be in. Those communications that have been made yet. But we have a really big 6th grade class. You know, the 6th grade, that's why the number here seems smaller. But he and I also talked about the fact that if we start getting some requests in a particular grade level that might go beyond this, that we will look at that and we can adjust the numbers potentially in September. If we feel like we can have room and fit kids in the particular grade level. We, as you know, we typically have a lot of people who like to transfer in, and there are more that transfer into North Bend that transfer out annually. So that's one of the reasons why we bring this to the board so that we can have a target number. But we also know that, you know, if we get a bunch of high schools, we typically have overhead at the high school. So if you know, we get an unusually high number of kids who want to come in at the high school level, would likely come back and say, hey, we need to increase that.
I do have a question. I thought that transfers in would automatically go to North Bay. Is that not the case? Because Hillcrest is so crowded?
It's not my understanding at this point. It's a good question that we can ask Bruce, but today he said, it's just not determined as to who goes where. The number balance, the last I know, this number balance is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but are we, data, we're content, we're about 30 or 40 different between the schools at this point. With Hillcrest having about 30 or 40 more than North Bay, right? So they're fairly close, but we certainly don't want to. Obviously, we know that North Bay has a lot more square footage than Hillcrest does, and so even if they're even, then it's tight at Hillcrest and it's more open. So we're trying to be wise about where those placements go.
Typically, the messaging this early in the summer would be, we can guarantee the transfer at least in one day, but it could be that Hillcrest too. So it just depends on if they want to know now that Hillcrest is open. We can't always guarantee that now, but we might be able to.
Okay, thank you for the update. Item 11. Oh, excuse me. My bad. Thank you, ladies, for keeping me in mind. Is there a motion to approve the inter-district transfers as presented?
Do I need to read it just the way it's word for word, or do we?
Yeah, why don't you read it? Yes,
Okay.
please.
I move for the board to establish for the 2023-2024 school year that the district will accept the following number of non-resident students who apply for the North Bend School District. Kindergarten, 18. First grade, 0. Second grade, 3. Third grade, 2. Fourth grade, 1. Fifth grade, 1. Sixth grade, 2. Seventh grade, 10. Eighth grade, 10. Ninth grade, 20. 10th grade, 20. 11th grade, 20, and 12th grade, 20.
I'll go and second that.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, there is a motion and a second, and it is I move for the board to establish for the 2023 to 2024 school year that the district will accept the following number of non-resident students who apply to the North Bend School District. Kindergarten 18, first grade 0, second grade 3, third grade 2, fourth grade 1, fifth grade 1, sixth grade 2, seventh grade 10, eighth grade 10, ninth grade 20, 10th grade 20, 11th grade 20, and 12th grade 20. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, move pass unanimously. Okay. Next agenda item is agenda 11, item 11. And that is plan board work session for board/superintendent working agreement. So tonight, the action for us is going to be to pick a date. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we have a contractual requirement to develop a working agreement to outline responsibilities and expectations of each other between the board and superintendent. We would also establish board priorities at this meeting. And there's also, I think we should do some board training for the benefit of our 3 new members and the other 4 that are here. We always can learn something and be refreshed. So I kind of envision a 6-hour day. This would be a full day from say 9 to 3 with a lunch. We'll develop the agenda more fully, but I would look at, today is the 13th of July. This might be something we do in August. Is there a date that someone wants to throw out or that we could select for this?
Would we want to keep it on a work day or a weekend? Cause I don't necessarily want to give a weekend, but I would.
I could do a work day at all.
I can do a work day too.
Okay. I'm retired and flexible. So. But I do know we have a couple people that have revenue jobs here, 3, at least 3. So is there a date for you, Nathan, that works?
Actually, August is pretty open, so. Yeah, Really don't have a lot scheduled here. Tuesday afternoons are not good for me. That's when I'm at the city. But other than that, we could do the 16th, 17th, or earlier 9th and 10th.
17th works for me.
17th works for me. That's fine. 17th.
Work session that night,
Mhm.
right?
I don't think we schedule work sessions in the summer. We haven't been.
I think that's a good idea, not to.
Yeah, well, it is. We've had quite a few work sessions the past 3 months, so. Yeah, that was kind of the plan. So August 17th, okay. We will also select a venue. It will not be at the DO in that conference room with no windows.
Thank you.
So, and it will, it'll be a facilitated meeting also. We'll have a facilitator there for that. So August 17th,
What time?
9 to 3. Does that sound good? Okay. We've selected that. Great. Board comments, agenda item 12. Are there any board comments?
I just want to say I'm really glad to be here. I'm glad to join all of you, and I'm proud to be a member of the board, and I look forward to working with everyone to do our little bit to help the kids along their way and their education. So thank you for what you mean.
Thank you. Thank you, Nathan and Carol and Michelle. Hey, good. Any other comments? Okay, next item, agenda item 13. There's an enrollment numbers for June 2023, a financial update. The next board meeting will be August 3rd, 2023. And we do not plan to have a work session in July. Okay, with that, agenda item 14, executive session. And I'm going to read this part. There's 2 topics. The board will meet in executive session to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to carry on labor negotiations pursuant to ORS 192.6602D. And the board will meet in executive session to consider information or records that are exempt by law from public inspection pursuant to ORS 192.6602F. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall not be allowed to attend. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Okay. That's about it. So with that, if we can have about a 5-minute break, and thank you for coming. We will return to open session. If whoever's here, we'll reopen the doors and hold on.
They're out of here. You just missed them. Right?
Yeah. So. In item 15.
Hey,
Okay, audience.
Plank, we're here.
Item 15, return to open session. Item 16, consider action on Nia Bryan complaint. This matter comes before the board under policy KLAR following a complaint filed by Nia Bryan on March 16th, 2023 and April 21, 2023. Under board policy KLAR, the board voted on May 11th, 2023 in a public session to refer the complaint for investigation to an independent investigator through the board's legal counsel. Following the completion of the investigation, the board's legal counsel provided a summary of the investigation of the complaint to all board members and the complainant on June 28th, 2023. The independent investigator determined that the complaints were not substantiated. Under board policy KLAR, the board now has an obligation to decide in open session what action, if any, is warranted. The board must decide whether to accept the results of the investigation and find the complaints are not substantiated, or reject the results of the investigation and find that the complaints are substantiated. Because the board chair and the vice chair are the subject of the complaints, neither I nor Director Thies will be voting on whatever motion is before the board. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion. I move to accept the investigator's conclusion that the complaints are not substantiated.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. And the motion is I move to accept the investigator's conclusion that the complaints are not substantiated. And let's see, so all in favor of the, I think we'll do a roll call vote, just so with that, all in favor of the, or we'll go Carol. Aye or nay?
That were.
You're voting on the motion. Yes,
Yes, yes.
so you're aye, okay.
Yeah.
Carol, you're the aye, Michelle Roberts and I. Nathan's and I abstain. You're an aye.
Aye.
Aye. And
Okay.
abstain. So the motion passes 5.
Okay.
So the motion passes. Okay, the motion passes, carries, and the complaint is dismissed. Okay, next up, item 17, consider action on Darren Cinco complaint. We have before us a complaint filed at step 3 of policy KLAR by Darren Cinco. He is appealing Superintendent Kevin Bogatin's decision at step 2 regarding his complaint. Under board policy KLAR, the board must take action on Darren Cinco's appeal by either moving to holding a formal hearing, moving to obtain additional information, or adopting the decision of Superintendent Kevin Bogatin as the district's final decision. Is there a motion?
I move to adopt the decisions of the superintendent.
I'll second that.
Okay, so the motion is the board moves to adopt the decision of the superintendent. Can I add as the district's final decision? Thank you. So that's the motion and a second. We'll now vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So I believe that's unanimous 7-0 to accept or adopt Superintendent Kevin Bogatin's decision as the district's final decision. Okay, item 18, consider action on Nico Friedman complaint. Okay, we have before us a complaint filed at step 3 of policy KLAR by Mr. Friedman. He is appealing Mr. Kreider's decision at step 2 regarding his complaint. Under board policy KLAR, the board must take action on Mr. Friedman's appeal by either moving to holding a formal hearing, moving to obtain additional information, or adopting the decision of Mr. Kreider as the district's final decision. Is there a motion?
Yes, I move that we accept Mr. Kreider's decision.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, okay. So there's a motion and a second to accept Mr. Kreider's decision as the district's final decision. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I believe it's unanimous, 7-0 to accept Mr. Kreider's decision as the district's final decision. Okay, item 19, adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
All right.
Aye.
All right, well, thank you for coming, and oh my gosh, Christina, it is 7:59.
Wow.
I'm working on getting out of here by 8. That's as close as we